things where you never do for me. When you tell him to...
Hi guys, this is your girl Reecy. Welcome to Kicking It with Reecy. And today we have our vibers. And to my left we have Miss Kimberly. Hey girl.
Hi.
And as you know, we have Chef Jay. Hi Chef Jay.
How are you today?
I'm excellent. You're next to me, so I'm good. And to my right is my girl Tiffany. Hey girl.
Hey girl.
Thank you for coming again.
You're welcome.
And we have a new viber. Let's pray for him, because he knows not what he walks into. Our new viber is Jeremiah. Welcome, Jeremiah.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome, and I hope we see you on the next one. We won't scare you.
We see what happens.
Okay. Kim, please behave yourself, okay?
Oh God.
And as usual, we have my loyal friend Miss Nadine. You can't see her, but she's always here. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Looking sexy over there. We got to get you on camera one of these days so they can see you. So, thank you for joining us. And today's topic is, why do we people ignore red flags? Good topic.
We people?
People, why do people? And I'm not drinking. And I went to a good school too, you know. All right, but why do people ignore red flags? So I'm going to start with my girl Kim, because I know Kim have a lot to say, so we got to let her get it out.
No, not me. Why do you have to start first with
You
me?
know I got to pick on you. You know I got to pick on you. So why do you think people ignore, why do we ignore red flags?
So sometimes women, or men and women, I'm going to say both because we're talking about both, right? We are speaking of both of them, right? All right.
Yes,
It
because we don't
depends
want
on-
to get powered.
Right, we don't. We can't do that because we actually think that we can change somebody. That's one of the things with men and women. So the red flags are, if we see somebody, we meet someone, and we find some flaws with them, we start dating them or whatever and everything. They figure it'll just take some time and it'll just blow over. You understand?
Right.
And it doesn't always go like that. So we miss those things that's going on in the beginning. And then that's where that's where the problem, that's where it starts from right there, because we just ignore those problems. I'm going to cut it short for so.
Oh my God!
Gonya.
Jesus, let me have somebody can have a drink for me? Kim says she's cutting it short. All right. For the people out there, y'all just don't know. So I'm going to switch it to the new viber, Jeremiah. You know I'm going to put you on the spot.
Didn't expect it so early, but
Oh,
so the question is again, why we ignore what? Red flags.
red flags.
Give me an example. What is red flags? What is a red flag?
Give me an example.
Yeah, somebody give me what is a red flag?
I mean, I would say that is specific to a person, because my red flag might not be her red flag.
Right.
You're looking for different things.
What is your red flag?
So I mean, it's to a person's preference. So what is something that you say, or you would think when you're dating someone or courting someone, to say, oh, that might be a problem. That might be a red card in soccer, to say, hey, flag on the play.
Yeah.
What is going to make you lead a game?
So in saying that, when I can only speak on my experience.
Naturally.
Yeah.
And I can add a little bit more to that, being a counselor, a therapeutic counselor, school-based, chemical dependency counselor, actually working with people on the ground and understanding the relationships they in, why they in that relationship, what's the purpose of that relationship, how did they get into that relationship. I come to learn that a lot of individuals ignore red flags because those red flags are not really red, they're more like yellow, because they previous experience, whether it be with another person or whether it be at home, and that culture that's not really our culture, that now that they didn't been attached to, right, have more red flags than the red flags of that individual that we seeking out. You understand what I'm saying? My past relationship with mother, with sister, with cousins, with auntie, it might have been a lot of red flags because the community was impoverished. we weren't fully developed as a people and as a culture. You understand? So it's a lot of red flags with mother because mom was a single mother raising 3 of us. Mm-hmm. Older sister got molested by mother's boyfriend before I was born. She have a lot of red flags. So a little boy coming up in the backseat of the car, hearing older sister talk to mother about how husband, boyfriend was cheating on her and she could smell the other woman in the car, it's a lot of red flags that a little 6, 7, 8-year-old can pick up from a family. Now when he goes out and get into a relationship with a woman who may not have or may not see all those red flags, but those red flags now become yellow flags. They're not so serious. Because I'm seeing serious at home.
Right.
So you're
I'm
saying
seeing serious
on...
in my, in my immediate family. I'm not seeing serious right here. And then also, I'm looking for something that I never got at home. I never got love from my mom at home. I didn't get the nurture because it was hard times.
Well,
So now I run into this, I'm looking for that love. So I'm going to ignore what you may see as
Everything
red
else,
flags.
Because you're getting something else that you never got before.
Exactly.
Right.
And I share this real quick and I'll be quiet. Because I work with teenagers. I was therapeutic counselor school-based. So one of the reasons I want to say this because teenage girls, I work with a lot of teenage girls being a school board president and etc. Scared Straight program. A lot of young girls say they want a baby at 15 and 16 years old. And I say, why do you want a baby? They say, because I want someone to love me. So the man, or let's say the male that produced the child, may have a lot of red flags, and she don't even care about that.
No.
She wants the production of that baby to come out, and now she can attach to herself to something that love her. It's gonna love her back. So all them red flags that Mister had, who was a, let's say he was a male because he wasn't a man, he wasn't ready to have a family, or have a child, but yet she wanted that child by that young man. It's irrelevant because that love of that child is what she wants. Go ahead.
my red flag was I was in a relationship and the person said he don't know how to love. And in my head, I'm like, what do you mean you don't know how to love? And trust me, that was a red flag right there that I should not have ignored because he really don't know how to love. And that... Why? Is what? Nobody can love me. I need love. No, but I'm just saying. But I'm just saying that was a red flag that I ignored because I thought that, oh, you with Reecy, you know how to love. I know how to love, and a part of that was the way he was brought up. And the way how you're brought up has a lot to do when you're in a relationship too. So the fact that he didn't go through that with his mom, he didn't know, because he was like, you see how men go around and talk how they love their mom and they're all into their mom. He said, I can't be like that. I'm not like that. I love her, but I'm not all into her like that.
So your thing is, sorry to cut you and everything, because you was with him and he tell you that, you thought maybe you can change him because
him being around me and seeing how I am and how loving I am and how affectionate
exactly, not knowing that it will
man, when I used to go hug him, he used to be like this. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
he doesn't know how to love.
He doesn't, but he told me. But I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening.
So that was your red flag.
That was my red flag.
Okay, and it's not just only you, and I'm saying that because there's a lot of women that's out there that's just like that. That's the thing about it. They always assume and think that men are going to change. Because I'm every woman think that they're different.
Yeah.
Every woman on here think that if they get one man, I'm gonna use Chef J. Sorry to do it like this. Every woman think they're gonna offer something different to this man.
Than the last woman.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm just saying. So it's not just him. I'm just, saying shit, but, it can be any man. You know what I'm saying?
It's
and
true.
that's what we think. We're not paying attention. I can say Reecy and her husband. Then another woman will come along and guess what she'll say? She'll probably say that she can change him. You see what I'm saying? But those are still red flags and everything. So we need to kind of concentrate on ourselves first before we start trying to change our next person. Sorry, go ahead.
I completely agree with you. And I think one of the reasons people ignore red flags is because you see the potential. and potential is a killer.
Right.
Because you can always see what they can be, whether they can see it or not.
Exactly.
And you fixate on that end point.
Exactly.
But someone is not going to do something before they're ready to do it.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what it is. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
That's it.
You can see potential all day, and they will never amount to that.
Nope.
And maybe they'll just never amount to that with you.
Right.
Everybody isn't for everybody, so it really doesn't matter.
There you go.
But at the end of the day, you need to accept people for who they are. Whoever that person presents to you, that's who they are. If they tell you lie 3 out of 5 times, they're a liar.
Exactly.
It's true.
I don't need to ask anything else.
True.
They're a liar.
Exactly.
Yes, it's
If
true.
you steal here and there, you're a thief.
Yes.
Exactly.
Accept them. The way I look at life, show me who you are, and let me make the decision if I'm
There-
going to accept you or not.
Exactly.
And if I don't, that's my business.
I think that's like
Exactly. Just let me know first, because it happened.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
Tell me in the beginning.
Let me know your red
Right.
flags.
Let me know exactly.
Let me know your
exactly.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, hey,
Listen.
but that's your choice if you want to stick around.
I just be like, hey,
Thank you very
mister,
much.
hey, mister,
Exactly.
before we get to that relationship, here are my red flags.
Let me tell you what
Let me
my
tell you let me
My
tell
red
you
flag
about
is-
me. My red flag is.
I am married and whatever. Then you start from there, and then you
Yes.
just let the person decide.
Yes.
Let them make a
So do you
decision.
want
Yes.
exactly? But do not
Take it away from you.
Exactly.
I should have a red flag to them.
Wave
Wave the red flag.
to anyone, because it really messes up people when you do
Accept
that.
them
It's
for
true.
who they are.
Yeah,
Who they are
accept them for
today.
See if you
is
can
who they're
accept
gonna
that
be.
red flag or not.
No, but that's what it is, though.
Yeah.
You need to take
Yeah.
your person, look at them, and say everything that you are today, the good,
Stop
the
right.
bad, and the ugly.
Honey,
That's it.
Yes, that
everything. Let me know your red flag from now.
of course I'll give you a whole list, but you know what, Ben?
A whole list. You supposed to only have one thing on the red.
Alright, so everybody, as far as we all talked earlier on, everybody have bring up some great points, but I have to really agree with the gentleman over there, because most we look at it as red flag, but really and truly he make a great point. They're not really red flags, they're yellow flags. Because red flag is actually after we enter the relationship and after we look at this person as, oh, this person is this and that, we say these are red flags. When we're getting started and the light was green at first, the light turned yellow.
You saw it.
Exactly. So they were yellow all the time. But because it didn't work out in your favor, now it's all become red flags.
Okay.
So we always have to
Absolutely.
look at it from that point and say, they're not really
Absolutely.
red flags. And then another thing is that, even with your point, is sometimes somebody says something to you about I don't know how to love.
Do you know how to love?
The person will know how to love.
Do you know how to love?
But sometimes you have to understand that. I'm trying to hold it.
Am I trying to? He's trying to ignore her. I should not stop.
Do you know how to love? I want to. Okay, so I'm sorry, Jay.
Oh my God. No, I'm serious with everything here.
He's trying.
It is.
No, but really and truly, everybody love in their own way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And sometimes the biggest problem is that everybody want things in their own way. I'm not expecting that, I can do things the way you want it to be done. You understand? But if you take the time out to understand me, you realize that I do
That's
things
where the
another
5
way.
love languages
And that
come
is,
in.
thank you very much.
So
I learned about the 5 love
So
languages.
that's the biggest ordeal with a lot of people.
Yes.
And if you say this around a larger group, everybody would have they'll go left and people go right. Which everybody have to just take the time out to listen and realize that if all of us right here, you ask us one question, we all have 5 different responses. You know why? Because we're 5 different people. And
Absolutely.
if you get 100 people, it's the same thing. So we have to look at
Different
it like,
perspectives.
okay, how does that person love or whatever? You understand? But if you're looking out there looking for stuff how you want it to be done, it would never. I work as a chef, and I'm telling
absolutely
you,
not.
I work around a lot of cooks, lot of kitchen, and all the times I say nobody do things the way I do it. And guess what happened? When I get to comfort to understand people is when I start to relax and say, Ben, I show them how to do it, and let them do it the way they do it. But as long as they do it, they follow the same principle, and the end product tastes the same. I have to understand that, Ben, the way I look at it is
It's not the only way.
That's right.
I may be faster than them. They may be slower than me.
That's right.
But it's a matter of what's the end product and how
Absolutely.
they get there. You understand?
Exactly.
And when you do that, the person, you actually develop confidence in yourself. The person develop more confident, and they will try their best to do things in the same way that you would appreciate it. But if you're not seeing the way they're doing things and show back feedback or congratulate them, guess what happened? It's going to be a lot of red flags. You understand? So it's all yellow, and it's just red flags is when everything is behind of us.
Well,
So
all I'm asking you, Mr. J, is We don't want a red flag here.
Alright,
Make it green.
So let me let you know. So we started off on green light.
We started off with
But, but we might have a few.
On the live,
Make that go with them up.
Listen.
Oh,
Make go with them up.
So we might have a few yellow. But guess what happened? Listen to it.
Okay, darling.
There's only two lights.
You see why Jay have to be?
You see the yellow or green, okay?
Don't touch me.
I know.
You see we're in yellow right now? Don't worry yourself. We're
Don't
going
worry.
right back to green, okay? Alright?
Lord have mercy.
Telling you.
My heart.
Just drink your water. Slow.
Welcome to the madness, Jeremiah. Jeremiah's like, what did I get myself into? Okay, so that I like that. As I
good.
said,
That is very
the
good.
red flag.
Mhm.
And actually, my son came up with that idea, you know.
Really?
Mhm.
Smart guy.
Red flag,
The red
with
flag.
the red flag.
Smart
But
guy.
it's true.
Yes, yes.
So what's your big takeaway from this?
My big takeaway is to take notice of the red flag. That's my problem. I always say, as you said, potential.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, oh yeah, I can change him. Or not change him, but maybe if he's around me,
Mm-hmm.
he will adapt and he'll see the light. And he'll see the light.
Mm-mm.
And still have blinders on.
And they always
My
do.
blinders
Whenever
is
it's-
off. It's done.
Listen, let me tell you something from the root. You have to bend the tree from the young.
Me too old for that.
Understand?
Me
No,
not-
no, man.
No, but it's true.
No, listen. Yeah, listen. You ever see somebody try to bend a old tambourine tree? You never
It
bend.
never been.
Exactly. You
It
bend
done
from
plant
young.
or it plant.
You understand?
Exactly.
And
And you have to
most of-
accept it
and
as
then-
whatever type of
It
tree
is.
it
And most,
is.
and most of the time, like what we get at home or what we get in the little village that we grew up in.
Mhm.
That's the
What we
only
know.
thing we can show. We
Mhm.
can't show nothing else. You understand? If you grow up around poverty, when you go out there, that's all you can show. If you grow up around love, that's all you can show. If you're around money, it's the same thing. You understand? So sometimes we have to just know, like, what's that person's history? What's his background? And sometimes if you know the history,
And those are
background,
very important
Yes.
conversations.
easy.
It is.
That's
It
what
is.
It's so easy, you know what I mean? It might sound crazy when they tell you their story, but if you really listen sometimes,
Yep.
it's so easy to just have a conversation when they understand, you know what I mean? Okay, the way they, you know what I mean? They see things.
Can I say something?
Very proud of
The
you.
problem that we have, we don't get into the conversation until we have sex.
Speak for yourself.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
No. When I listen here, I'm just saying.
That's right.
What I'm
We've been
saying.
doing that before.
No.
What
You
kind of
have
bad man
no.
this?
What I meant by that
What kind
is.
of mad somebody this?
No. You do have people. Oh, they like. Oh yeah, Jay look good. I want to sleep with him, and then we sleep with him, and then they will get to know him crazy, him crack.
No, but
him do
But
this.
you know,
him
say,
do li-
not trying
that's-
to be funny, but you know, say I was never a woman that's like
No,
that.
but you have
women that's
women
like
out
that,
there.
yeah.
Absolutely.
They tend to look at the
Good-looking men all
physical.
over, but
They look at the physical and be like, yeah, whatever.
No.
And then then you get to know them after when it's too
No,
late.
it's too late.
No, but
It's
listen,
too
on a
late.
high level
It's a soul tie
conversation, you know
now.
that like most times when you're a guy who try to bring up a certain conversation with, female, they might look at you and think that, I mean, you're a geek, you're a nerd, or something like that, you know what I mean? So sometimes you can't blame a guy from not talking too much, because I get it all the time, like, oh, I don't talk a lot. And then you go around, you're around some ladies and it's like, oh, I don't hate guys who talk too much. So
They
then,
chat
so
too
then,
much.
so then you sit back and you listen like,
Wow.
okay, who are you supposed to be?
Yeah.
right.
You understand? So because
That's
you kind of, when you hear like female talk, especially when you're around a group of female, you have to evaluate yourself and say, all right, when I'm around, who am I going to be? You understand? So sometimes you don't talk a lot and a woman might look at you and say, he doesn't communicate a lot. But then you have to understand that the environment that the person probably regularly around, you might hear female be saying this thing like, oh, they don't like guys who talk too much. They don't like this, they don't like that. So, you kind of just like, all right,
You
Ben,
adapt.
I don't need to be that. You understand? So
Right.
sometimes you have to do with that. And like I said, like a lot of women, they don't really listen to certain things that you go around talking about your past and all that stuff. Oh, he's psycho. He's this,
Yeah.
he's that.
Oh,
But
I
you're
hear
not-
that
but-
all the time.
but
With
they're not-
bipolar. Who
but-
are you today? What mood are you in?
But
Hey,
they're
you
not
didn't know that
realizing
before?
most of the
That-
times, if they listen, it goes back to what you say. If they listen, they realize this
Yeah.
is not even that person have one red flag. But if you listen and understand that person, you realize that that person is just trying to just let you know, who am I?
Right.
So
And
then,
what type of person
can you
they are.
deal with me?
Exactly.
Yes, I can deal with you.
Listen,
You
it's
understand?
true.
But if you don't listen, but then,
Absolutely.
like you said, most of the time, if fly past that and gone all the way over sex and then come right back and then you say, oh, who is this person?
Yes.
But
You
you
didn't
never
know
took
that
the time to
You set the
listen.
time out to know the person
Exactly.
first.
I know my red flag.
You know what I mean?
I know what my red flag is.
Totally.
I'm like moody.
Yes.
I'm a moody person.
Yes.
Shut
let me put
up.
this on him video.
Shut up. No, I'm a moody person. 1 minute I'll be laughing right now. And but
But listen.
no, but
Everybody's like that.
no.
No, everyone.
Me,
like that.
no. Trust me.
I'm confused.
I'm telling you, trust me. And it's a problem.
Oh,
That's
you're
the
super
major.
Do you want me to demonstrate?
That's
I
a
can
ma-
demonstrate.
That's a major issue with my relationships. My moodiness. Who are you today? What? I don't understand. What's wrong with you? 1 minute you're happy, 1 minute. Seriously, Kim went through it.
You have a chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
I always say I'm bad, and I'm always joking about it, but maybe I am.
You might be, but hey.
a lot of men cannot handle my moods.
But
But
here's the
wait,
thing. But then guess what? When she just said, Kim, deal with it, I know the red flag. We just started whatever. Because it's not a thing that it will bother me. Me just back off. She know me already.
She
Me just not
understand.
talk-
But
right,
She understand, but not.
Me just that's it. But
Men
it's
don't
nothing
understand
You don't
when
know
it-
how to deal with it, is what you're saying.
Right.
They don't know
You
how
know
to
how to deal with her.
Yes,
So
I
when she's
just
in that
ignore me.
mood, you know what to do.
Yeah, when
you
she's like that,
adapt.
I just.
But
look.
the men don't understand.
But
You have to
look at
teach
Yeah,
them.
it's different because that's a personal relationship with men. They're a little bit different. So that right there can be actually a turn off to men. Because
Absolutely.
some men, right?
Them
you
not
know,
like
when it-
change. Them
I
not
hope-
for that.
Right.
I-
When them
I-
start seeing like that and everything, and then one way, a next way, I can see that
It's
being
a roller
problem
coaster.
and everything. You understand?
Of course.
Me, I don't care. One way or the other.
Perfect
Well,
example.
I
It is a roller
hope this does not change.
A perfect example. Hold on,
What?
you know her.
How long we know you, Andrea?
Too long. Too long.
It's been more than 5 years.
Yeah.
More than 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, you see? Think about it. The reason why you can handle that,
Mhm.
because you know her.
Right.
Well, if a person didn't know her, they can't handle it. But if you know that
So
person,
that's why I might tell her from now. I
if
tell her my red flag.
If you know that person, you know what time of day it is.
You
and
know what
just,
to-
you know, you
right.
just navigate through it, and it's like nothing. All right, you know, up in one of them time right now. All right,
I'm gonna see you later.
2 hours later, things will change. And
All
that's
I'm
it, you know
saying
what
Why
is
am I
the
feel
poor
say
guy
I
would-
ignore my red flag? I really feel offended right now. You know?
No, actually,
I'm trying to be upfront and let you know what my red flag is. Like, I don't understand. It's our first couple
no,
fight.
no, listen.
We're fighting.
Actually, you don't get the point. I'm navigating around it.
Okay.
He's learning you.
So I'm
Okay.
just letting you know that, when that come up, guess what happened? I just navigate around.
Oh.
it.
Chill.
It's like timeout, you know what I mean?
You put the reach at time
Okay.
That's
She timeout
right.
now.
That was hot right there.
Timeout.
That was hot. They go put Reecy on timeout.
Timeout, you know?
No man never put me on timeout, you know.
No,
Listen, it's all about that time, right?
Okay.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Do you have anything to share, Jeremiah?
No, but
Nadine,
sorry.
Sorry, Nadine. Yes, Nadine.
Well, so what you guys are saying that love is not blind, it's just in denial.
Wait, love is blind.
No, she said love is not blind. Love is blind. It's
It's not blind.
Love is
it's in
not
denial.
blind. We're just in denial.
It could be.
Well, you know what? You have some people that are in denial.
I mean, let's
yeah,
be
you do.
honest.
You have some people that are in denial because
It could be.
when it comes to certain things, some people just figure
Like, yeah.
it's
No,
what
go
it
so.
is. Right, exactly. You
But it
understand?
goes so.
Right. So yeah, that's a denial right there, definitely.
So you asked me what I think. In my opinion, is so far as what I hear is that, from what I know, is that a lot of red flags are really not our flags. And what I mean by that is that, for an example, you understand her red flags because you understand the history of what developed those red flags because y'all develop a relationship. So you can say, my sister, I know where that red flag come from, right?
Well, not
But-
really.
but-
I don't really know where a red flag.
It just popped up one day. It just popped up one day.
Let me say this.
So, behave so and everything like that, and then we are in a no.
You
So I
learn.
don't know that.
Maybe
You know.
you understand the reason. Well, let me say it like this: is that what my
I
point-
just take her good, and then the other part right there, and I'll weigh up in the good, and then the
Unconditional.
right, exactly, and everything. She has a good heart. I know what type of person she is. She has done a lot for me. I don't have to say whatever and everything like that. I know what type of person she is. So that is like irrelevant to me.
Water
to be
number.
honest.
and I agree with you.
Like
because-
on real talk.
And I met the sister once, and I'm here, and it's because of her vibe. And we had a long conversation.
I told you guys,
Just
an
because of
installation that was supposed to be like maybe 45 minutes ended up like 2 hours or something.
Correct.
That's just with him.
Yeah.
I met you on Tuesday. You were BFFs by Saturday.
No, I was kidnapped.
I would take that. He was kidnapped.
But I would like to finish my point because honestly, I don't know if I would be invited back because I'm like him. I could talk too much.
No, you mean like her?
I was
I
going to
could
say,
talk too much.
it's me. You're in competition with me.
But I heard my brother. He's right though.
I'm just letting the guests. I'm just letting you do your thing over there.
But I agree with him though. Sometimes when we men don't speak up, it's like, okay, what's wrong? But then when we do speak up, what's the issue? I mean, but nevertheless, my point is this is what I want to make is this. And this is, I look at it as a culture and I look at it as our people, right? And what I want to say is a lot of red flags that we are experiencing right now, these red flags doesn't belong to us. These are red flags that have been handed down to us by adversaries. The ones who are captive, the one who brought us to, let's say, Jamaica when we came from Africa. The one who brought us from Africa to, what you say, America. So the impact of slavery, we can't forget that. Now, I don't like to dwell on the past because I like to go past. I like to go present. I like to go future.
Right.
I like to go present to future more than present than past. Let's work on a solution.
Exactly.
Because we can keep talking about the problem.
And I'm glad that you're saying that. Sorry to say that because people always do
and
that.
get to the solution. And that's why I bring this point up is to say, look, a lot of these red flags we talk about amongst each other is not our flags and it doesn't belong to us. We cultivated those flags from our enemies, or let's just say the adversary. People who don't have our interests or best interest in mind. And we know that through history. And I like to say that I think, it gets to a point, we at a point in history where I think we need to say, all right, we examine, we know what happened to our past. And we know all the flags that come with it.
All right.
Let's detox that. Let's learn how we going to detox those red flags and say, you know what? That flag never belonged to me. That belonged to another woman and another nationality from another country, speak another language, eat different type food, have a different type grandmother, different type background. Don't have nothing relevant to me or my great ancestors. And I got her and heritage. And I'm carrying that baggage with me. And I'm distributing that to my brother. Or I'm distributing that to my sister. When it really doesn't even belong to me at all.
And we're going to stick a pin right there because I want you guys to join us on our next episode where we're going to finish this conversation. All right. So thank you for joining Kicking It with Reecy and check us back for the second part of this interesting conversation. Thank you guys.
You're up against the wall, but why now you sleep him name your call? Girl, don't tell me say you're sorry, me no need it. You never sorry when you did hurt me feelings. You get me out and break it off in many pieces. You left me scarred with no regard and hurt me deeply, deeply. Tell me if you're real, so what to get deeper. Stop, will you